YouTube live. Um, so for this video, you might be on this. I was preparing for the video last minute too, and I look tired too as well. So I was just thinking like what I wanted to say, um, for the video and stuff like that. But I got everything prepared. But I think that for this video, I'm gonna go ahead and postpone it just because it's getting late and I want to better prepare for the subject as well. So I jumped off till Adriana starts. Glad to hear your creative self. She always waits, I think. So it's gonna be a short video just because I was just thinking I really want to make a video on how the world is so reverse, on how like everything that's evil is considered good, and I want to talk about like every single thing that's wrong. Well, like not focus too much on like what's wrong, but just like so we don't gaslight. I don't know, like so we don't gaslight ourselves so much, and like we're not hard on ourselves because this world has us right now under like these demonic oppressions. So um I think that making a video like that and like just showing like why you shouldn't feel so bad because we're not one of them. Us targeted individuals and chosen ones, we're really not one of them. And they recognize that. And that's why we get so much hate, so much harassment and stuff like that. And even places that we go because they know, they already see us from like a mile away. They recognize the fact like, oh, they have a light and we're jealous of that light. So this goes also into this video because your light, your spirit is what causes most of the jealousy. It has nothing to do with materialism. It has nothing to do with your outer appearance, you know. It has nothing to do with your social status. Like if you're very popular, like the hierarchy. You know how there's different hierarchies like low income and then there's I think it's like the medium and then there's like high and then rich and stuff like that. So it doesn't have to do, it has nothing to do in the physical realm. This jealousy that I'm going to be talking about, it all has to do with your spirit that they're jealous of. It irritates them and they don't understand like, why am I so jealous of them? You're anointed as well, so that causes a lot of jealousy and stuff like that. And so that's why you have a lot of people watching you, and that's part of the reason they're watching you because they're jealous of you. They're watching you, first they watch you and then they hate you and like they're nasty to you, but then eventually they're going to start mimicking you. They're going to start copying every single thing that you do and gaining admiration just by watching you because you're interesting to them in a way because you're not living the same way that everyone else lives. Like you do things differently. And so that causes a lot of jealousy because everyone else, most people don't have an identity in this world that we live in now. We're in crazy times. We're in very crazy times where people lack a self-identity. And so with that being said, we can't be taking every single thing personal. We can't be like, oh, that person said that I was a bad person, so I'm gonna believe I'm a bad person because everyone else outside of us, like the external validation, thinks that we're bad, thinks that we're mentally ill, and thinks that we're a criminal or we're lazy or we're this and that because of the way that people are treating us. And we internalize it as maybe I should be less of myself. Maybe I shouldn't be myself because they're jealous. And because we have such a good heart, we don't want to make these people feel like, you know, less or feel bad because they're going to start using manipulative tactics to try to make it feel like we think we're all that, we're arrogant, we're stuck up, all these nonsense. But once you actually like analyze the words and stuff like that, you're soon going to recognize that when they say like you're too much, it just means because they lack something that they see within you and they wish that they had more of that. So you're too happy, you're too emotional, you're too sensitive, um, you're too awakened, you speak a lot about the truth, things like that. So this is your wisdom, your faith in God, your relationship with God causes jealousy because you're in the light and they're in the dark. And so that will make them feel like I'm less than them because I don't understand how they're free, how they're shining so bright and we're all miserable. And it's like the crabs in a bucket list. They see you just elevating. They see God blessing you. And these people they're not the ones blessing you. God's the one constantly blessing you in ways that you have to really see. Like, even when, like, let's say you lose a job or something, God is still gonna bless you. He takes you out of those toxic situations sometimes because He doesn't want you to continue to bless those people. You know that you're a blessing. You know that's why these Jezebel spirits um try so hard to play these manipulative games with you, to hold this emotional soul tie with you through manipulation and through fakery and flattery and all that types of stuff because they need to feed off of your energy. And they're jealous that they don't, or envious as well, that they don't have it. And so they want what you have. And since they can't attain what you have, what they're going to do is they're going to try to attach themselves to you and study you and stalk you. And this is where the gang stalking and all the noise campaign where they're constantly making noise and stuff like that. They want attention. They want to feed off of your energy. All of them want to do that. Even the cars driving around, they're just trying to drain you off of your energy because they're jealous, they're envious, and they recognize that. And so, the most difficult part that we have to understand, and I've learned this the hard way, is that we can't be kind to every single person in our life. Like, we can't be too kind to every single person in our life, especially the jealous hearted people. Um, there was a Bible verse. I don't really remember exactly what it said, but jealousy is more dangerous than anger. So, the spirit of jealousy, it's a Jezebel spirit operating with them. That that jealous spirit can cause them to do horrible things like mess you up, get in the way, try to destroy what you have going on, bring you down constantly, just trying to, bring you down, put doubt into your head, make you fear. I don't know, like all this type of stuff. That's what they do. That's what these jealous people do. So they're not safe people to be around. There's this perception thing that people say, and they say, "Oh, kill them with kindness. Kill jealous people with kindness. Be more nice to them." You know that if you're nice to them and you're being vulnerable to them, that the problem isn't you, okay? The problem isn't you, chosen ones and target individuals. It's not you. It's people. It's the spirit that they're under. Like the spirit is controlling them. So you can't change them by loving them more, by being even more kind to them, by being more generous, by being more open to them. That spirit within them is trying to already gain superiority over you. And so they're going to try to put you down while you're being kind and all that. Use all those weaknesses because they're going to see it as a weakness because they're jealous. And they're going to use it against you when they shouldn't. And so that will cause the jealous person to think like, oh, I am better than them, you see? Because look at me, I'm above them now. And they're going to compete with you. That's another thing with these relationships. Most of the relationships that I've had, they're not even relationships, they're just frenemies or situationships. Um, Most of them were jealous. And mind you, I went to a school with a lot of people, well, most of them who had money and who lived in big houses, were financially stable. And I didn't even know why they were so jealous and envious, that they were always trying to tear me down. Even when I would just mind my business and just stay to myself, they would always find the time in their day to just see if they can gang stalk, get into groups, like in groups, and then just focus on me and trying to like put me down or say something just hurtful, like cruel to me or hateful to me, just to try to tear me down and break my spirit. So that's a form of spiritual warfare as well, right there. It's not that intensified, but once it adds up more and more and more, once you stay longer in those relationships, it starts actually affecting you psychologically, mentally, emotionally. You start to actually think that there's something wrong with you, that maybe you're the problem and stuff like that. But no, no, not at all. Like, a person that truly cares for you is not going to make you feel like you're not good enough. So many people try to do that to us, especially as targeted individuals. They want to try to make us feel like we're just not good enough. And they play these games with us. Like, they're really nice to us because they're jealous. So even jealous people will come to you with big smiles on their faces, giving you tons of false flatteries, like telling you, you're so beautiful. Oh, I love the way you dress. I love this and that. And then after they're done, like just putting you up, like putting you on this pedestal that you're so perfect and everything. But it's for a reason why they're doing this, because it's for a reason. They're gonna smile in your face and they're gonna go back and stab you, just gossip about you, just spread all these lies and stuff like that, and actually critique you and criticize you heavily behind your back with other people who also who don't like you. And the thing about jealous people is they're gonna want to put you in a negative spotlight. They're gonna paint you as a bad person. So so that's what they'll do. They're so nice to your face. They're fake, and they go behind. They do all that. So so yeah. Okay. Now here we have another one. The Lord renews his precious ones. Yes. Okay, and then there's also watchful spirits. In the spiritual realm, we call these monitoring spirits. And monitoring spirits, you know, the ones who have the jealous spirit within their soul, or some of them are soulless. So soulless, they have less of a soul because there's a disconnect. Um, we also have to be very careful not to take things personally. You know, most of these people who are jealous and envious of you, some of them have highly narcissistic tendencies. They have low self-esteem. They have a poor self-image about themselves. Like they have they're what do you call it? They loathe themselves with a lot of self-hatred. And so that causes them to tear you down, to lash out at you, to be aggressive towards you. Even aggression is a form of jealousy as well. And I've noticed that um, at that work where I was getting workplace mobbed, they were the bosses, the ones who were on top. Um, they were starting to talk to me very aggressively, and I was like, I'm being nice to you, like I was just thinking to myself, like, what's their problem? Like, I'm being nice, I'm doing what I'm told, I'm doing I'm exceeding at my job and I'm, performing good. I'm doing every single thing and I'm even doing more because they kept on giving more and more. But just the way that they would talk to me, like, how do you not know this? And they'll try to make you feel like you're less than. They're jealous people are gonna micromanage you. Like, just watch you. The reason why they're watching you out of spite. They're waiting for you to make a minor mistake. Just for any type of flaw, any dirt that they can find about you. And then they're gonna just use that against you. So I have a high self-esteem, but I also don't judge, so I feel I can think highly of myself and those I love and care for. Yeah, when you have a high self-esteem, you're more accepting of other people. You become less judgmental. But the jealous spirited people, they're heavily judgmental on the people that they're jealous of. They're so fixated and focused on you that that's all they concentrate on. Like, you rent so much space in their mind all the time that it causes them to just watch you, to think about you, to try to get close to you, try to become your friend. The reason even jealous people badly, like, they're desperate to become your friend just because they want to see what you have going on in your life. They can study you, they can gain more things about you, like mimic you, find certain things to steal your identity because they lack an identity themselves. And so we have to really be like having like be careful who we open our doors to, like in our life, like our inner circle. Be careful who we allow into our lives, like our inner life, like our personal space and stuff like that. Because some of them are jealous spirits, Jezebel spirits. And a Jezebel spirit is very jealous, very self entitled, very narcissistic, very greedy, very selfish. Most of these jealous spirited people are just people with narcissistic tendencies, like they want what they want. And if they have to tear you down, if they have to try to get in the way of distracting you or competing with you, things like that. And all those tactics that these jealous people do. So, that's why we have to use discernment to really trust and how they actually feel about us, because even the energy doesn't lie on jealous people. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel that something's off about them, like when they compliment you, because I sure felt that. Tell you, I sure felt that when I was getting all those flattery compliments. They weren't compliments. It was just, I was considered flattery, like grooming you. um it didn't feel sincere. It felt like so shallow. It also felt like it wasn't coming from a good place and genuine. Like, there is a yucky feeling, like as they were giving me the compliments, it didn't make me feel good. It actually made me feel like bad in a way. Even if the compliments were like positive, like, oh, I like your shirt, oh, I like this, and I was like, thank you. But I felt like that energy that they were like projecting at the same time, and it was so like negative and toxic. So you'll definitely know when your intuition is telling you, like, red flag, like this person does not have the best interest for you at heart. And you're gonna know. So that's one thing that these jealous people do, that they'll compliment you specifically on the things that they're mostly jealous of you about. Like, they'll even reveal it to you on what they're jealous about by what they focus on. So that's another thing that they tell on themselves. That's how you will know. Um, They'll be like, "Oh, I like the way you dress," and then they'll compliment you on that. But then behind your back, they're just gonna like try to put you down in a way because they're insecure. So, um, That's one of their tactics. And this reminds me of like that place that I resigned because I was being workplace mobbed. They recognized that I wasn't one of them. Like like they know that you're really not one of them. Like you're set apart. And so what ended up happening is they felt like the Holy Spirit within me. And it's strong. My presence is very strong when I would go into that workplace. And they kind of like feared me in a way. So I really felt like they feared me so much. And I didn't even do anything to them. I was so nice and kind to them. But they still felt like attacked just because spiritually they know that you're a lot like you're up here, so they try to dim your light. I was shining like really bright, and other people also noticed that, like, oh, she's shining like really bright. And that shine, when you shine, you allow other people to shine too. Like, yeah, but some of them, jealousy, they don't like it. They don't like the fact that you shine because they feel like they deserve the spotlight. They deserve your position, especially if you're around narcissists. They're going to they're going to project all of their hatred, all of the negative things about themselves. They're gonna project it all onto you, and then yeah, they'll just try to put you down, dim your light, so then they could feel more comfortable around you. But it's a group of people. It was a group of people will do this, and they're all insecure. That's how you know. Like all those people that get into groups, they're weak. They're Jezebel spirits. They're cowards, and they have to focus on just one person to tear down because that person has something that they wish that they had themselves. So I think of these people as like bullies, like manipulators, abusers. Like they're just they're just not happy, content with their life. So they have to do that. They have to get into groups, gossip, and then try to make someone else look bad. And they think that it makes them look good because they're focusing on somebody else's flaws when they have so many that they need to work on. And that's just that's just what it is. It's that happens. So another thing you're gonna realize is that they claim that they don't like you, that you're just this horrible bad person. They're gonna say all these bad things, but at the same time, they want to be around you. So that comes to the next point is that they're watchful. They're like stalk. They become like stalkers too. Envious, jealous people can. It depends on the level of jealousy as well. Like if they're excessively like jealous of us, they'll watch us. Like they'll get, they'll just live through us. And that's the sad thing is that they like everyone has their own lane. You're in your lane. The jealous people will literally just try to get in your lane and try to just control you as well. Jealous people want to control your life, like the narrative of your life, because they really don't want to see you continue to progress because it hurts their little ego. It hurts their little false self that they created. And they need to continue to live in that delusion, that lie that they live in, that they're better, that they're perfect, that there's nothing wrong with them, that you're the jealous one and you're the problem when they're the ones who are um, trying to mess with you and mess with your life and stuff like that. So you'll definitely see um, that they'll gaslight you. So yeah, so don't let these Jezebel spirits get in the way in your lane, your path of God. Don't let them try to just, you know, desperately try to get into your life. That's another thing. These jealous, envious people, you're gonna notice that they have an agenda. Like, they have a hidden agenda. Let me tell you, everyone has a hidden agenda, okay? When some of us have a really good agenda towards people, other people got some evil, nasty, envious, jealous type of agendas because they're jealous. So they're like, okay, this person has what I want. This person has something that I want to become. And I want to do this and I want to get in the way and I have an agenda to try to destroy their life. I have an agenda to try to slow them down. I have an agenda to put doubt and fear in their life. And let's see how I can do this if I am able to get into their life. And so the jealous person will try to be really nice, kind, overly kind to you. It doesn't feel real. And desperately trying to gain your trust. There's like a desperation that's just coming off of jealous people. Like you'll feel that desperation, like let me in your life. Like I'm a great friend and this and that. And they'll just really try hard. Like they're needy too. They're like, I'll be a good friend to you and this and that. And they're just waiting to see if they can do that. So, like, yeah, they're watchful. Like, they study you too, like a book, but they can't figure you out. They're like trying to steal your sauce, your secret sauce. It's your spirit. It's your spirit. So, yeah, envious people are constantly watching you, like constantly. You're gonna feel it too. Like that's the thing when you're spiritually attuned and you have self-awareness of yourself and self-awareness of other people, you'll definitely feel that someone's just watching you all the time, that you, even when they pretend like they're not. That's the thing, jealous people will pretend like they don't care, like they could care less, right? I don't care about that person. Yeah, I don't care. No, that person, I don't like that person. No, I don't know that person. Blah blah blah. And then they'll constantly just be focused on you, like just watching you all the time, listening to you sing. If they can try to copy and mimic you, whatever you're saying, your body language, the way you stand, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you do your makeup, the way you dress, all that type of stuff, they're just gonna, they eventually get admired from it. Because that's the thing about jealous people, they'll start hating you, because that's, the hate will start turning into hate towards you, but reality, it has to do with their own um inadequacies that they feel about themselves. And so, um, yeah, they'll start thinking that you're the problem. I hate that person. I can't stand that person. Everything that they do, I just can't stand them. Like, even when they talk, even when they, you see the way that they, like, jealous people, or envious people, they'll just, like, you can literally just be breathing, and they'll be, oh, I can't stand the way that person breathes. I can't stand that way that person smiles, or they think they're all that. They think they're beautiful when they're really not. They're not. They're not good looking. No, they're not. They're horrible. They're ugly. But deep down, they're like, oh, like they're actually not bad looking, and they actually do have a really nice smile. But I need to just try to feel better about myself. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's what they do. I've witnessed this so much, so much. And yeah, everything you do, even at that job where I was getting workplace mobbed, I would just do a random thing, and they would just stare at me, like give me dirty looks, and like, oh, I would just walk in, happy. They were like, oh, like you could just see it in their face that they just that they can't stand you. But at the same time, um, they won't tell you exactly what they say behind your back. They're just gonna be they'll be nice to you in your face. They'll be like, oh yeah, oh, of course. Well, you'll realize, oh, you will see through it. You will see through the mask. You'll see through all that deception, all that fakery that they do. It's obvious too. Like sometimes they can't even hide it. They can't hide it. Like they can't hide how they really feel about you, because it just shows. Like it shows through the facial expressions. Um, You'll see it. Like, I don't know how to describe it. There's this person that would watch me, but they would like give me like these evil eyes, like angry, like that. And they start copying you too. I went to go get a bag of chips. And then she went to go get a bag of chips. Like they copy everything you do, and they're like they want to be better than you. And it could be the most randomest, smallest thing, and they're still gonna go and just follow your footsteps. But they're your fans. They're your fans. These jealous, envious people. They are your secret admirers, or something like that. They actually believe that you're better than them, and that's why you shouldn't feel like angry at the fact that they're jealous, because they already think like you're already better than them and they're admired by you. And I know this is a thing that I know that having people jealous of you, it feels horrible. Like, I don't like the fact that some people are jealous. I'm like, can you just leave me alone? Like, there's no reason to be jealous. I'm just trying to be a kind, loving person and just being myself. And you try to be nice to these jealous people, and they're not nice. They're not. No, jealous people will not be nice to you. Mm-mm. So, yeah. The Antichrist spirit. Okay. And this goes with, like, being a targeted individual. Most of the time, the handler is a narcissist, a psychopath, is a person who has spotted you and has seen, like, okay, they have something valuable, greatness, potential, integrity, all, like good qualities, your personality attributes, your energy, the way that people gravitate towards you, the way that people love who you are, all these types of things. Um, all these types of thing and invokes jealousy. Could be any random thing, to be honest, just any random thing, and boom, they're jealous. So and so a jealous person will also try to do a smear campaign. So they want to be you because of your energy, of your Holy Spirit that you have. They want to take your position. They want to be you so bad. And so what they'll do is they'll start gossiping about you, finding, mimicking you, finding any type of bad thing about you that's not true, and twist it around and try to make it like even add a bunch of lies to what they're trying to say about you. Um, and just make up false allegations, false rumors about you. They'll spread all this information to a lot of people, like tons of people, like their little flying monkeys, their friends, their family, every single person. And they're gonna make it feel like you're the bad person because they can't stand the way that they feel about you in reality. And that's the thing about jealous people, is that most of the time um they don't wanna admit that they have a problem within themselves. Instead, they want to deflect it outwardly, because they don't understand that their self-worth comes internally. You know, you're who you are and everything. You shouldn't be finding your external value outwardly. And that's one thing that these Jezebel spirits don't comprehend. That you're not supposed to gain validation, value through the outward world. They also have an inner light as well, but they're not going to be able to see it because they're blinded by their jealousy. And they have beautiful attributes too. That's the thing that I realized. Like, some of the people that were jealous of me, they were beautiful. They had potential. They were artistic. They had talents, successes in their life and stuff like that. But instead of counting their blessings, instead of being grateful for what they have and every beautiful thing that they have going in their life. They want to focus on you, and you now become their source of life and validation, because they will try to um, like show off to you as well. Like, you see, look at this. Look at, I have this going on for me, and look at, I'm going to go on this trip and I'm going to do this and that. And you're just like, I don't really care about like materialistic stuff, trips and all that. And cuz they're trying to prove themselves to you. So that's another thing that you have to understand, that um jealous people will do that. They'll really try to prove to you who they are and how they're so much better than you, that you should, okay, this is the thing. The reason why they're doing this type of tactic, it's because they want to invoke you to become jealous of them. So instead of them admitting their jealousy, now they're going to just try to invoke feelings towards you so you can become jealous of them. And they can flip the script around and actually continue with their narrative that you're actually the one that's jealous of them. And yeah, that's another tactic that they use. So I've dealt with covert narcissists, and covert narcissists, they have a Jezebel spirit within them, and many of them are very competitive. They love to show off because they have a fragile sense of self. And so I remember I had this friend that would always show off, like, oh, look at my Chanel bag, look at my Coach bag, look at my shoes, I have so much. And then they'll buy something that you have and they'll be like, look at, I also have a bag like yours. Like things like that they'll do. Um, and this is because they're trying to prove that they're better than you. There's just, you just have to really not deal with any of this. Honestly, it's childish. It is so childish. When you really see it for what it is, you're like, I don't care. Like, I'm not competing. I don't care what you have going on in your life. I'm happy for you because I am. Like, I really don't care. I really don't care. Yeah. So, yeah. But another thing, in conversations, you start talking about yourself, and the Jezebel spirits, they don't want to. Um, they don't want to even acknowledge you. Like, they'll ignore you, and you'll just be talking about yourself, like sharing something about you, and the jealous person will refocus it on themselves. And let's say you're saying that you're going through a difficult time. That jealous person, that Jezebel spirit, they're gonna exaggerate, like, oh no, I'm going through it worse than you. I've had it worse than you. You don't understand, but I've done this and that. And so, yeah, they always want to make the focus onto them because they're selfish, they're greedy, they're jealous. That's a Jezebel spirit. They're self-entitled. Um, so yeah, so I've noticed this like in groups. I would just say something positive too, like something good that happened to me. Like, oh, guess what? I got this new thing going on, and oh, guess what? This is going good in my life. And don't sharing information with jealous people. Ooh, that's gonna irritate their demons inside of them. They're gonna be ah, something good happened to her. And yeah, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They're just like, don't tell me. Don't tell me the good stuff that's going on in your life. I don't want to hear it. And they'll try to put you down like, oh, anyone can do that. That's easy. You just got lucky. It was just a coincidence. Um, that could happen to anyone. Anybody can gain whatever you gained. That's easy. Blah blah blah. And they'll try to put downplay your success and your achievements. So yeah, one tip that I have, advice that I have to give is don't share your good news with jealous people. Just don't. Like, don't even bother sharing, like, the good stuff in your life because they're gonna make you feel bad in the end. They're gonna try to make you feel bad, and you're gonna feel like, wow, well, that didn't feel so good. Like, what was that all about? So, don't, I recommend the best thing to do is just be humble around them. But don't, you know what? Don't humble yourself too much. Like, you don't have to lower your confidence either for them because that's another thing. Like, they get threatened by your self confidence and they're jealous of it. They're threatened because you're happy and like they feel that they don't deserve that and they want to be happy too. So they'll try to make you feel just as miserable as they feel. And then they'll feel happy. They'll be like, "Look at me, I'm so happy." And it's so sick when they do this, but they really do that. It's like because they're competing. If you remember, that's the competition mindset that they have of competitiveness and playing ego trips on you because they're using their ego. Like my ego is hurt, and I need to get an ego boost, and so that's one of the tactics that they use. And so yeah, I forgot what I was saying because I was talking so fast. But yeah, oh, that's it. So, so yes, narcissists are sick and competitive. They aren't happy what they have. Mhm. But that's one tip. Oh yeah, that they're threatened by your confidence, by your self love, by your happiness, and so yeah, you're happy and smiling, and then they're gonna want to just throw a ruin your parade moment of your happiness. They're gonna try to like bring something up to try to bring you down. Um, so yeah, they're not happy when you're happy. In fact, it's the opposite. They're like mad. They're like resentful and bitter. They're like, ugh, like look at them. They're so happy. Like why? They should be miserable. And so that's why it's a dangerous spirit. Jealousy is a dangerous spirit. You can't build like real deep relationships with someone that sees you like a right like as competition. Mm-mm. No. It becomes so toxic. Like their toxicity of being jealous, it it ruins the relationship because it's like it becomes so toxic where you're just like I'm putting effort into this, but it's like every time you're always trying to like bring me down. And so you just gotta leave. Sometimes you just gotta be like, oh, you know what? This is too much. Like, I can't. I gotta like separate myself because they're starting to abuse me. Even jealous people can even get to the point of like abusing you, like emotionally abusive, um, physically abusive, like when they joke around with you and you're both laughing, they can even just push you like really hard and be like, ha 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 ha. Oh, I've had that experience. So, my uh old friend of mine that I had, um, just someone would take interest in me and she would be jealous. And she was like, "Oh, no, he's looking at me." And I was like, "Okay, that's okay then. He is then." And she would just push me like really hard and I was like, "Ow." Like that really hurt. Like that really hurt. But it was like the jealousy was starting to become so bad to the point like she was even putting her hands on me. So, yeah, it could get bad. It could get bad. Mhm. And then I would say like, "Hey, that wasn't nice. Like, why'd you hit me?" And she said, "Oh, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just being. That's how I am." And I was like, "Don't do that again," because it was like with a lot of like energy, like bad energy, like here. So, no. I don't care about anything material in the world. Exactly, yeah, me either. No. So, yeah. Okay. Oh, thank you guys. So, I want to continue on with like the monitoring spirit of jealousy and envy. Well, the other reason that they're observing you is because they are in admiration, and so they're trying to find what is it about them that causes so much attention. What is it about them that's so different? And so they're trying to figure out like what's so great about you, so they can apply it to themselves. And so I've gone through this with certain neighbors that I've had, and they become like so obsessed with you. Like they start stalking you, like just like literally stalking you 24/7 and watching you. But then like they start copying, mimicking you. And this is where this mimicking comes into play, is that you're going to start to really see how it's not just admiration. Okay, like anyone can copy you, and it could be like, oh, we're just mirroring each other. Like, we mirror each other just as humans for connection as well. Like, that's just a normal part of being human. That at times we're just gonna mirror each other. Like, even when people are in love, like they have both of their hands like this, and both of them just mirror each other because it's like a connection. But when it comes down to jealousy, it becomes like I'm trying to steal every single thing about them, and I'm gonna apply it to myself. So I can become just like them, and I can gain whatever it is that they have. I can have that, and I can run with it. I can take it, and then I'm gonna run with it and be like, apply it to myself. Let's see if it works. So you will notice that there's people who try to steal certain parts of your personality, your identity, um, just things about you. Like it all comes down to spirituality. Like even if they copy you, even if they try to like do exactly what you do, they still won't be able to be fully you, because you're the original one, and they're just trying to duplicate you when they shouldn't. In fact, they should really start healing that insecurity, the jealousy that's causing them to act like that, and really figure out who they are. That way they can also be fully themselves, because we're all born here to be ourselves. And it's like everyone's a copy and paste of each other. It's just like, oh, everyone tries to blend in. They're all like just similar mindsets, similar way of thinking, similar way of being and stuff like that. But when they see you, it's like you become a threat first, and then they're like become really jealous and envious of you, because you have the audacity to go against the crowd, and against you know what everyone else is doing, and they notice that in you, so they're like, oh, like how'd they do that? I want to be just as weird and different and stuff like that. So, yeah. But what they don't understand is that they're jealous of your growth, but your growth took progress. It took so much work. It took inner healing. It took like sacrifices, and you really had to do a lot. You had to put in a lot of inner work to get to where you are at right now. You see, you start off as a caterpillar. You went through that whole spiritual awakening, and then you've awakened. But that darkness, that darkness, all that darkness, all those trials and tribulations, all the times where you just you hit rock bottom. You had like really traumatizing, challenging situations that you've gone through, and you had your breakthrough after all the testimonies, all the tests that you've gone through all your life. So eventually you just have that breakthrough, and you're like a beautiful butterfly, just being free, and just being like a bright, beautiful butterfly, just glowing. And so these people are gonna try to tear you, put you down, like because of jealousy. They're like, no, no. So you gotta be careful, you know. You gotta really test the spirit, because jealousy is a demonic spirit. It's not. It's not from the light. You know, the behind that spirit, it's like negative. It's dark and heavy energy that you're gonna feel. So really test the spirit around jealous people. Okay, and then um they see you as an enemy. So people who are at war with themselves, they're gonna be at war with people who are not at war with themselves. You remember, the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. You have peace. You have a spiritual richness within your soul. And so they see you as an enemy. They're like, because they're at war with themselves, so now they're gonna want to be at war with you. But in reality, the reality, what really is going on, is that you're not their enemy. You are not the enemy. They become your enemy because they're the ones who have that jealousy, that envy. So they're the ones who become your enemy because now they're going to try to harm you. And then one thing I've realized is with jealous and envious people is the fact that they will really try to mess you up and abuse you because they're taking out that anger that they feel within themselves every time you're around them, because you make them feel bad about themselves. And that's why we have to not really take it personal when someone's like yelling, insulting us, telling us like just berating us in a way, like putting us down, or just saying like things to try to get to us. Um, they do that because they really need to feel better about themselves. And then they try to see if you have any weaknesses, like your kindness, any type of weakness, they're going to try to find. And then they're also going to see, does she have an emotional support system? Do they have other people that are also there for them? So they can see if they can go on and try to put you down easier. Okay. So some of the tactics that you'll recognize of jealous and envious people is that they will start to recruit other people to also be against you. So they'll get other people to also join in. So that way they don't have to feel like they don't have to take full responsibility that they're the ones that are jealous of you. That way they can feel like their emotions, because they deeply down they know that what they're feeling is not right, and that you didn't cause anything to them. You didn't do anything wrong to them. You didn't even um go out of your way to hurt them. You didn't do absolutely nothing, just by being yourself, just by being a positive ray of sunshine. Um they need to justify. They need to like accept the way why they're treating you bad is because there is something wrong with you, and there is something that we need to try to put you down for, this and that. And so they'll gather other people around who also, they don't even know you. They don't really even know who you are. They have no idea who you are. Even the jealous person doesn't really know who you are, because they're just projecting things about themselves onto you that's not even true. Like they'll say lies about you. That's not even who you really are. So a jealous person will even tell you like, "Oh, you're selfish. You're evil, this and that." And like they'll project what they're doing, or like you're abusing me. Like they'll make it seem like you're the bad one. Um but yeah, so they'll gather other people around and influence them and brainwash them into like going against you as well. So they'll create an army against you. And this type of behavior can happen in your workplaces. It can happen in your community. Just people spreading a bunch of lies. Just anywhere, to be honest. Even with your family, even with family members who are jealous. Because, mind you, there's also family members in your family who also have the spirit of jealousy. And they see that glow within you. And so that's another thing. All right. Yes, they validate their rational actions by involving others. Okay, and then there's imitation. So I'll start to mimic you. And this is also connected to the jealousy, because they're trying to become you and trying to be better at being you. So you're just being yourself, and they need to prove that they can be you so much better than you are. So they will imitate you and follow your footsteps. You'll take 5 footsteps and they'll be in back of you taking the same footsteps, and then trying to outdo you. So yeah. So it's kind of like people who start trends too. Like even you have the ability to start a trend just by dressing different, doing something different. They're gonna gain they're gonna be like, "Oh wow, like that's interesting. I like that." So I'm gonna imitate them. So they'll behave in certain ways that you behave, your etiquette, your manners, your morals. Um, they can even get inspiration off of you and try to work on becoming a better person. So they can also become bullies. So we, there's this lie that goes around that, oh, people only bully people who are weak and people who are not good enough. No, not at all. Um, there's people who will bully other people who are successful, who are so much well off, and their energy, just things like that. So they'll also try to bully you and harass you and do things like that because you became more than what they expected you to be. So it's not true. That lie that's been said, like, oh yeah, it's just because of that. No. Um, yeah, they'll try to bully you, and this is when they'll try to break down your self-esteem, your confidence, your spirit down as well. So they'll even use your good qualities against you as well. Insult your intelligence. You can even be really smart, and they'll talk to you as if you're not as smart as you are. Oof, tell me about this one. I've had people talk to me in like patronizing tone of voice, like a demeaning tone of voice, and I was just thinking like, why are they talking to me like this? Like, I'm not unintelligent. I'm actually an intelligent person and stuff like that. So yeah, the positive qualities, they're gonna try to make you feel bad for those qualities that you have. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. So, they'll treat you like you're the villain. What else? They don't trust you for some reason. They'll act like you're untrustworthy. They'll drain you, manipulate you, use tactics against you to make you question yourself, to make you doubt yourself about who you really are. Insidiously weakening your mind, intentionally a lack of communication. They'll keep certain things away from you. And this can also go into playing games such as gang stalking you, um, attacking you, trying to act tough, trying to act superior to you. And then they're going to say that everything's your fault. So, really actually understand that um, when you're going through all of this, don't get don't get down on yourself. Like, the reason why you're going through stuff like this is because they become jealous and envious. This is a very true one right here. And I just thought I would share it with you guys. But when you have conversations with jealous people, they're gonna constantly talk negative about you to you. So they're constantly gonna try to bring up irrelevant things about you or things that you've done wrong as well. They'll mention something that you are wearing, calling you sorts of names. Basically, they're trying to just put you down to make themselves feel better. And you'll notice that they're incapable of addressing anything positive about you. Everything's just gonna be all the bad things that you do, all the negative things about you. and just giving their opinion to critique you and criticize you and put you down. Ooh, this one, this one really is true. And I've experienced this, and I'm pretty sure many of you all have experienced this as well. But jealous people, envious people, depending on the degree or the narcissism that they have on the spectrum, they can become sadistic in the jealousy, in the contempt that they feel towards you. So yes, this is facts right here. This is facts. And I've I've seen it and I was like, wow, people can be so cruel and so heartless. I was like, that's heartless. Like, how can they feel happy when they like have someone, cuz they're sadistic in a way. And I've had this happen with my neighbors where I currently live. I saw how sadistic they are. Like super sadistic, like nasty type of energy. So if the person that's being envied makes a mistake in front of the envious person, like falls down or does just a tiny mistake, they will laugh hysterically at your misfortune. Also, if somebody starts talking about you negatively to the envious person or in some way put you down negatively by verbal attacks, they will be happy and they will actually laugh hysterically. Other people can be around and see the misshape or hear the verbal attacks, but because they are not the envious person, they do not care, and it is not funny to them that much at all. The envious person literally overly laughs, which highlights their envy. That is why I said it hysterically. I guess this makes them feel as I guess this makes them feel you are being brought down a notch seeing your misfortune, or hearing the verbal put down attacks making you seem less than in some way which satisfies them. So envious and jealousy, it's obvious. You can just see it through people who do this type of stuff, who laugh at other people's misfortune because deep down they have an inferiority complex. They're deeply insecure and deeply um lacking self-worth and self-love. So they will in fact do this. And this is the this is the worst. You don't want to have people around you like this at all. Don't even allow these type of people who are sadistic who into your space. Like, keep them at a distance or just cut them off, like ignore them. These type of people are dangerous. Dangerous. Sadistic people, mm-mm. No. That's why I'm saying this is a Jezebel spirit that's in these people. It's a Jezebel spirit. Like, that's evil. That's an evil spirit operating within them to do that. Mm-hmm. Okay, do you guys want me to continue to read the rest? Because there's a lot. There's a lot of them. I think I can continue. Okay. Then they'll have you questioning yourself. Envious and jealous people will be behaving disrespectfully and strange. that they will have you thinking that you did something wrong to them. The outcome of this will be you questioning yourself, asking yourself, did I ever do something wrong? Was I ever mean to them? What did I do that caused them to all of a sudden treat me this bad? Um, so you start thinking like, why did they just randomly they were nice to me and then all of a sudden they're acting cold and distant and they're just acting like they don't care and they're being so hateful and nasty towards me. This is the spirit of jealousy. Like they're gonna be nice to you and like all loving and fake, but it's only because they have an agenda, and then they're gonna pull away because they don't want you to see them for who they really are. That jealous, spirited person that they really are that they're hiding. So that's why they don't always come around you that much, because they don't want you to figure them out. They're trying to hide that jealousy and that envy that they feel towards you. So they want to keep you at a distance for that reason. They don't want you to see how much animosity and hatred and just envy they feel towards you. So that's what you'll notice, that these, even in fake friends, the jealous friends, they're gonna be nice to you and then they're gonna pull away because they don't want you to see when that mask falls off that they've been wearing around you. And mind you, jealous people can pretend. Some of them are masters at pretending. And yeah, you just gotta see through the deception. And also realize that they just despise you just because they feel that you are greater than them in some way. And they wish that they had something you have or desire. And they don't, and not to see you with that greatness. This is the worst thing about jealous and envious people. And here's why. Um, they feel like, why do you have it? Why do you have that type of thing that I want? And they're like little kids with a toy. Like, why does she have it? I want that. And so they're gonna just think, even like us chosen ones, those targeted individuals, people used to look down on us and they used to like treat us so bad and like humiliate us and think that we were less than them just because we had so much kindness and empathy and just, really good qualities about ourselves. And as soon as we just started to like elevate spiritually because we were more spiritual beings than of the world, um, now all of a sudden they look up to us. All of a sudden they want to stalk us and just watch everything that we do and get inspired off of it. So so yeah. So they don't want you to have that. They're like, why why do they have it, not me? I deserve to have it, not them. And they'll start making like things on why, like, yeah, they don't deserve to have it because look at what they did and this and that. So yeah, they're little kids. They act like little kids. Very childish, immature behavior. Um, it's very immature behavior when you see this type of behavior just manifest itself. Even like when if you're happy, like when you're happy and you're just like having a good time, dancing, singing, just you have a lot of positive energy. They're gonna feel like she doesn't deserve to be happy. She doesn't deserve it, and this is why. And they'll start creating scenarios in their head. Like this, it's just so sick. Like they'll literally create like scenarios in their head, like make up things about you to like justify why they feel that way towards you, and to justify why they're treating you so bad. And they're gonna make you feel like you deserve it. Ooh, they're gonna try to make you feel like you actually deserve to be treated like that. And they're gonna point out your flaw or anything that's wrong with you, and they'll be like, "Well, if you didn't do this, then I wouldn't have done this to you." And it's all just It's all just manipulation. It's all just deception that they're doing to do that to us. Um, so we have to start seeing it for what it is, because that's exactly what they do. Narcs don't like anyone having a better time than them. I hate narcissists because of this. They can have better than what you have and still not be satisfied. Exactly, you're correct. Okay, now we also have um look at what you made me do. The attitude of look at what you made me do. Yes. Then we also have calculating. And this is what I was meaning by that they have a hidden agenda as to why they want to get close to you. They're snakes. They're wolves in sheep's clothing. Jezebel spirits, jealous spirits. They're frequently calculating against you. They are on agenda to bring you down, at best that they can. They're extremely weak, malicious, envious people, narcissists, sociopaths, and or psychopaths will literally try to stop your movements in life, to keep you stagnant, to keep you trapped, to keep you in fear, either through you committing suicides, going to prison, a job loss, mental institution, things like this. If they cannot get you to commit suicide, they'll try to do other types of things. So that's what I mean. We have to be very careful. These Jezebel's jealous spirits, like really take the time to be vigilant. And they're tormenting spirits as well. They're tormenting spirits. They want to try to harass you, get under you, get an emotional reaction out of you so they can point the finger and try to make you look bad and so they can look good. So they constantly want to steal your spotlight. And that's why they do this. That's why they try to get to trigger you, to use your weaknesses against you, stuff like that, because they're trying to get you to defend yourself and then use your reaction as like validation that you're the bad one. So they're gonna blame shift you and then play victim and play a guilt tripping game. So yeah, the best thing is to avoid these type of people as much as possible. Avoid them, just like avoid them, get away from them. They're not entitled to you. And jealous people feel like they're entitled to chosen ones, and they do. They feel like they're entitled to us, even when they don't have nothing but bad intentions towards us. They still feel entitled to know us, like ask personal questions, figure certain things about us, all to fulfill their agendas. So, yeah. Wow, there's so many other, um, there's so many other traits. That's how toxic they are. And this goes on with the other tactic as well, concealing their envy. So some envious people will try to conceal their envy because they know that it's wrong to harm out of this reason. They will attack but give some other reason, masking the true reason as to why they're attacking you, which in reality they're hiding the envy and the jealousy. They will also use this other cover up reason to fuel to reason on why they keep attacking you. They think that they are being deep, but it's easy to see through that they're just being petty. And they don't want to confess that the reality is that they're jealous of you. If anyone is not on Jesus' side, get away from them, period. Yes, facts. Let's not forget that they always bring up bad memories from the past just to darken the mood. Yes, that's Satan. That's a Jezebel spirit trying to remind you of things that you did, that your sins and stuff like that. They want to hold it against you to put you in a negative mind state. But one thing is that they'll expose themselves unconsciously. Like eventually they'll just expose themselves and you'll see through you'll see through them for the real them that they are. Because of the way that they treat you. And just literally, you just know. Like, you already know the way that they're treating you is just because of that. By their fruits, you will know them. Hmm. And envious and jealous people give excessive compliments about someone. This can be someone they're not trying to turn against you, like a friend, for example. Excessive compliments. The envious person is trying to make that person take their side against you and have them believe that you are the true villain. The envious person is making them think that they're such an amazing good hearted and that you're an evil person. So they'll switch the roles around. Okay. There's a lot of signs. Wow. There's a lot. Then there's control as well. Some envious, jealous people behave aggressively towards the people who enable their evil, who have their back knowing that they're in the wrong. They behave aggressively to get what they want control. So if you're dealing with an envious person that is aggressive towards you, they are most likely a narcissist. Narcissism, bullying, and petty pretty much go hand in hand. Moreover, toxic, envious people will try to control your movement in order to make you quit whatever positive thing that you're doing. This goes into being a targeted individual. The people who are set on assignment, the gang stalkers, the monitoring spirits, your neighbors, the people that live near you. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna um behave aggressively to get what they want, which is control. Toxic, envious people will try to control your movements in order to make you quit whatever positive thing that you're doing. They will give you dirty looks, say evil, sneaky things, form an army against you, just always trying to intimidate you from moving forward in some way. Wow. And I'm dealing with a narcissist. A neighbor. I'm dealing with a narcissistic neighbor. That's exactly what is what is going on. Projection. Ooh, another. These are all traits. I mean narcissists usually use these like all the time, but even toxic people who have high narcissistic tendencies can also use these. Anyone can use them. Sometimes even we project our positive qualities onto people. Like we try to see the good in people and then it's like, I gotta take a step back and I gotta see them for who they really are, not for what I want them to be. Um, so yeah, there's projection as well. They'll project what evil things they do onto others onto you. They'll say that you are doing the very thing that they're doing to you. Another way that they project is putting labels onto you. But this is how they feel about themselves and desires to see you this way. For instance, the envious person calls another person stupid, but this is how they feel about themselves in comparison to the person that feels less intelligent too. They feel so badly desire that the intelligent person they envy be unintelligent, that they will obviously put false labels on them, like calling them stupid, when they know that it's not true. But this is the weak, pathetic way of coping with their envy, manipulating, distracting, plus narcissism. Wow. This brings me back to the argument that I had with my narcissistic neighbor. She's the one who called me a narcissist, a hypocrite, a racist, and a victim, an attention seeker, that I was always negative. It's all projection. That was all projection. And I've been called all sorts of other things. Like, you're a bad person, you're selfish. And while I was being the giver. Oh, yeah. So you gotta be careful with that type of manipulative tactic. They will definitely use that type of tactic on us. Wow. Narcissists know you are smart, but use it against you. They are not who they claim to be. Mm-hmm. Okay, then we have avoidance. Jealous and envious people will avoid you at all costs. They don't want to be around you. And that's one thing I've noticed. Like, they'll start giving you the silent treatment. They'll start stonewalling you. And this includes people who are not narcissistic as well. They'll avoid you. They'll just they can't stand being around you for a long time because yeah, eventually they're just gonna reveal themselves. So they avoid you because every time you keep doing good, and they want to act like now you don't exist. Now you no longer exist in their life because they have to validate that they're better than you. So the best way to do that is to avoid you and to keep you at a distance. So it doesn't hurt them. It doesn't hurt their delusional way of thinking that they're better than you. So So this is what they've done. And when I was this is oh wow, I've experienced the silent treatment so much. I'm pretty sure that many of you guys have also gone through that silent abuse where they're nice to you and they were like really kind to you, and then all of a sudden they just pull away and like they get away from you and they act like you're not even there anymore. So, yeah. That is facts. The whole avoidance. And it's hard to prove. You're like, well, you know what it really is. You know why they're ignoring you and stuff like that. It's just jealousy. But you can't prove it because you're like, oh, well, that person's ignoring me and that they're jealous. So how do you prove that? You can't really prove it. But you know for a fact that the reason why they're doing that is because they're jealous. Very true. Yes, this is very true. But like your intuition's telling you, I already know why they're doing that because they're just envious, they're jealous. So that's one of them, and that's like a covertly way, like a very cowardly way that you know. So yeah. So envious people will avoid you. This will probably be staring you down with dirty looks like you did something. Do not fall for this manipulation. Do not think that something is wrong with you or that you did something wrong when you notice their avoidance. Envious and jealous people avoid you because they see your greatness on you that they cannot handle. And every time that they look at you, it reminds them of how inferior they feel about themselves in comparison. So, furthermore, they will avoid you because they are paranoid. They know that they have mistreated you and tried try to keep their distance to protect themselves against you supposedly taking revenge upon them. So that's also when people, when like you were going through your spiritual warfare and the attacks and stuff, and all those people that went against you, and you were nice to them, and you were just being kind, and you thought that they were a good person, that they were for you, and they ended up switching sides and being two-faced. Um, they are part of your targeting and stuff like that. They'll avoid you. People will start avoiding you. They'll start running away. And it's really funny because certain people in the place where I live, they avoid me. I go for a walk and they're in the sidewalk. And I know who they are because I've spoken to them before, not anymore. But they just start running away, like they scatter. Because they know that they're up to no good. And that guilt, that that conscious of what they did to us or to you, um, that really affects them when you're around. Because they know that they're scared that you're gonna say something, that you're gonna put them in their place, that you're gonna speak up and say the truth. And so that's why they're cowards. They're like, oh no, no, I don't want to be exposed. I don't want to be exposed for what I've done. So maybe she knows. And because you'll see in their face, like when someone has done you wrong, they're gonna give off weird energy, like strange energy, like negative energy. Like I don't know, it's just this weird energy that you feel like it's not the same. Like there's a shift in their energy. Um, and you'll feel it when someone has been gossiping about you behind your back. You'll feel it when someone has been um trying to make you look bad and stuff like that. Like you'll know. You will definitely know. So, yes. Okay, let's continue on. The next one is confusion. Ooh, hoo, hoo. So after they've done all that messed up things to you, they're gonna want to act like they've never done anything, that they've always been so nice to you, and that you just imagined everything that you went through. They will do this to us. They will do this to us. Definitely, they'll do this to us. They'll be part of our targeting, and then they're gonna come back to us and pretend like they're all nice, like they're actually for us. Like, oh, hi, how have you been? And you're like, I know what you did. I haven't forgotten what you did. I still remember. So, I don't trust you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can't trust them. Once you see the real them, you gotta be, mm-mm. You know? They decided to switch sides, so it's like, I love you, but at a distance. And I don't trust you enough to even allow you into my life or to waste my time on you after all that all that stuff you tried to do against me. So, no, it's water. It's water. So, okay. All right. Let's continue. These are kind of like tactics that narcissistic people use. Highly narcissistic people use. Real anger. Envious people will show anger towards you. Ooh, you get in an argument with a person that's envious of you, they'll start yelling at you and screaming at you and being highly like loud with you cuz they're envious and they're just all that anger and stuff that they've been holding in, it's just going to come out of them and boom. So envious people will show their real anger towards you. They'll try to make you feel like you did something wrong. Like you did something wrong. And if they can get you successfully to think that something is off with yourself, it will be in your mental and it will come out in your behavior and what you say. They are trying to plant bad seeds in your mental. This is the thing about being a target. They're trying to plant bad seeds in your mental. It's not because you did something wrong to them, it's because they sincerely are angry at you because they feel that you are greater than them in some way. And they also can lash out at us because of fear. That's also one of the reasons. Okay, now there's playing victim plus smear campaign. Scared, cowardly bullies will play victim when they think that you're trying to be vindictive towards them. When they think, they will tell whoever has an open ear lies and try to manipulate them against you so that they can inflict additional pain as well. Hollywood acting will be included and false witnesses will be included so that their lies will be more credible. They do this to hide behind people for protection from you, just in case you harm them. This is also done to inflict additional pain onto you. Notice that they will first fabricate lies and manipulate the bystanders, third parties, to have them on their side against you. Secondly, once they feel manipulated, the third parties, they will begin attacking you freely in front of the third parties, provoking you and trying to get you to react. So this can be used as evidence. Provoking, baiting is messing with someone, reaching for a negative reaction while confronting, addressing the real problem to find the solution. Bullies cannot confront a person they know is innocent of their false accusations. And also, they do not want to find the solution since they are bloodthirsty, finding pleasure in your pain. Do not react with hurt and anger, but be non reacting, showing no pain as a rock. Showing pain and anger encourages these demonic people to continue the abuse. Demonic people, demons. So, yeah. Angry when things are going right in your life. Envious, toxic people, bullies, narcissists, etc. attack or get angry when things are going right for you. They hate seeing you happy, at peace, and smiling. They hate when you are on the game and you're doing good in life. They want to think they're so deep they're unseen. They will minimize your successes, yet they will try to compete with you. They hate when you are not silent. They hate when you actually stand up and you speak the truth. This shows them that you are not weak, which they despise. They hate seeing you walk with your head held high. They want you scared, staring at the ground, making no eye contact. They're thieves. Toxic, demonic people are thieves. They will steal your mental health, your energy, your ideas, and they will try to take credit, try to steal your future, try to copy you by destroying you mentally or in some other way, your joy, just anything about you. There's a lot. Wow, there's a lot. It's a lot of. Ooh, ooh. It's too much. Least expected people. These are the people with most higher social status, popular, more financial wealth, more physical attractive, more book smart, and have more than you. You start thinking like, why do they envy me? They have so much more great things and I barely have anything, less than in some way. Envious status people use their higher status to manipulate, to deceive others into attacking the person that they're jealous of, to stop their growth, their movement of the person that they envy because they feel they will be outshined by them one day. The toxic envious person will claim that you are the problem to others. Wow, that you are the problem to others. This is kind of like when they try to discredit your good reputation and who you are when you're being gang stalked. They do not consider why somebody as great as he or she can be envious of an underdog. We're not underdogs, as a matter of fact. We're not. The last will be first, and the first shall be last. So, yeah, so it's a spiritual battle. It comes down to spirituality. That's why we call them Jezebel spirits and jealous spirits. It all comes down to spirituality. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of the world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So you will be wondering, like, where are they getting all this mental power from to come up with all these schemes? Stop giving your enemies credit. Stop giving them power, which they don't have. Know that evil, relentless, envious enemies are in tune with demonic, other dimensional beings, demons, which have high intelligence. As your human enemies attack you, they are literally being guided, told along the way on what to do and how should affect you by these evil higher intelligent beings equals demons, telepathic communication at work. Your envious enemies are under demonic influence, literally, but are not possessed. Therefore, they choose to come into agreement with these abusive, disgusting ideas from these evil other dimensional beings and do them to you, inflict harm on you. So, tell me exactly, how is your enemy more intelligent if they are being told what to do all the time? They are not using their own intelligence, but borrowing the evil spirit intellect. Furthermore, this is why your enemies say and do mean things to you. This is to put traumatic events into your memory so it can continuously replay over and over again in your mind, to keep you struggling and distracted by moving forward towards your calling, to hold a mental bondage. So, unaware of agreement to keep the good people, chosen ones, from moving forward in life. Envious people are unconscious that they are literally being used as tools to attack you. That is why I said unconscious agreement, since they are spiritually dead, sleep, ignorant. Okay. All right. And then envious people will also behave like they're more superior than you as well. Their actions stem from self centeredness, the need for attention, approval, and an inferiority complex. So that's why they humiliate other people so they can build themselves up and they can try to put you down. So they need to build themselves up. But only weak people do that. Weak people do that. Strong people, we uplift everyone to up. So that was a powerful video. I have to admit it. I think I covered a lot of um traits to look for. And I always want to say this: don't gaslight yourself. Don't gaslight yourself. Actually see their behavior for what it is. Don't see it for what it's not. See their behavior for what it really is, okay? And that's what we need to do. We really need to stay mentally strong and just be an observer and actually see it for what it is. Be like, okay, so the spiritual war. So I'm gonna focus on accepting that everything in this world is reverse. I'm gonna make a video on that. Like I said, I'm gonna make a video on that and I can't wait. It's gonna be a great video. I'm gonna talk about how everything in this world is the opposite. And that's why we're being treated like this. We're being mistreated and we're being yeah, like that, cuz everything is the opposite. So, yep. I really hope this video helped anyone. I can't wait to make that other video too. I'm excited. I'm really excited to make that video. I'm gonna talk about so much stuff. Ooh. And I still have to make my other video about judgmental people as well. I'm also gonna make that one. And I'm excited. And always remember, don't dim your light, okay? Don't dim your light for people that just want to keep you down. Don't want to see you rise. Don't dim your light for them. God wants you to shine that beautiful light of yours. So continue to shine bright like a diamond. Diamond that you are. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video because it's really late. But thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you all for always showing comments and spreading love and positivity. Have a good night and continue to be yourselves. Continue to stay true to who you are and continue to share that beautiful light with the world. All right. Okay. Bye. Good night.